Good morning. Today we are starting for class 11th another topic which is trigonometry. Trigonometry you've already studied in 9th as well as in 10th, but the only thing different here we are going to start with is first of all system for measurement of angles. The most important is the circular system which we are going to discuss. This system, sexagesimal or English system, you have studied in prep school also, even in junior school also, where one complete revolution is divided into 60 parts. Each part is called a degree. Each part is called a degree. Each degree is divided into 60 parts, and that each part of that degree is called a minute, and a minute is divided into 60 parts, and each part is called a second. This already addition subtraction you have done it in junior school. I'm not going to discuss it because it has not much of significance to our present topic. The most important thing in this is circular system. In the circular system, the unit is called a radian. I have drawn a circle here of radius r unit. I've drawn a circle of radius r unit, and this arc is also of the length r. Please notice the radius of the circle is r. The length of the arc AB is also arc. If this happens, then the angle at the center subtended by this arc of the length r is called 1 radian. That means angle AOB will be called 1 radian. And the condition is when the length of the arc will be the same as the radius of the circle. Whatever is the length of the radius of the circle is the length of the arc. That is what we have written. If there is an angle subtended by an arc AB whose length is equal to the radius of the circle, then angle AOB is called 1 radian. It is called 1 radian. It is called 1 radian. And also 1c. On top of 1 we put a small c which represents radian. Now please notice circumference of the circle divided by diameter of the circle gives you the constant pi. You know it also. Circumference of the circle is 2 pi r, diameter of the circle is 2r. We get a constant which is pi 3.14 approximately, but it has got many values, you know that. Now arc AB upon circumference will be equal to 1 radian. Arc AB makes an angle of 1 radian at the center. Arc AB makes an angle of 1 radian at the center, and circumference makes it 360. Arc AB is how much? R. Circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. So r upon 2 pi r is equal to 1 radian, which I have represented by c, 1 to the power c. It is power c actually represents your. Generally we don't write, but it represents radian upon 360 degree. So r will cancel, and 1 radian will come 360 upon 2 pi, or it will come 1 upon 80 pi. That means 1 radian is equal to 180 upon pi, or pi radian is equal to 180 degree. We talk about the conversion, the procedure of conversion of an angle from radian to degrees and degrees to radian. The procedure is to convert an angle in radian equivalent in degrees, equivalent to its measurement in degrees multiplied by 180 degree upon pi. If you're given an angle in radian, for example, when we are talking of radian, then the angle is suppose pi upon 4. The angle is pi upon 4 because this is the angle which will be given in radian. Now I want to convert this into degrees. I'll multiply it by 180 upon pi. Pi will cancel, 445. It will become 45 degrees. So pi by 4 will be equal to 45 degrees. That way you can convert anything. Pi upon 6. This is an angle given in radians. To convert it into degrees, 180 upon pi. pi will cancel, it will become 30 degrees. Because generally we will be using now angles in radians and not in degrees. But the conversion is, this is the way you can convert from radian to degrees. To convert an angle in degree to its equivalent in radian, multiply it by just the opposite, reverse, converse of this. 180 upon pi, reciprocal is pi upon 180. For example, an angle is given in degrees, 60 degree, and I want to convert, I want to find its equivalent in radian. So what am I going to do? Pi upon 180. So 63, so pi upon 3. Like here it was pi 63 and here 63. Okay, 60 is pi upon 3. For example, if 30 degree is there and I want to convert it into radian, then again pi upon 180 multiplied by pi upon 180, 36. So it will become pi upon 6. So the conversion from degrees to radians or radians to degrees, to convert an angle in radian equivalent in degree, we multiply it by 180 degree upon pi. Remember, in radian pi will come in numerator. In radian the angle pi will be in numerator, and when we are converting it in degrees, pi will come in denominator. Now length of an arc of a circle. For example, we have drawn a circle. I have drawn any line OX and OP making an arc ACB. It is an arc ACB, and there is this arc of the length R where the radius of the circle is R. Radius of the circle is R, length of the arc is R. So obviously the angle subtended by this arc at the center will be 1 radian. We told you what is the definition of radian. This is the angle subtended by an arc. Length of the arc should be equal to the radius of the circle. If radius of the circle is R and if the length of the arc is R, then the angle subtended by this arc at the center would be 1 radian. So we are saying that is 1 radian, and we say that this length of this arc, ACB, the bigger arc is, what is the bigger arc? ACB. And what is its radius? What is its length? ACB. We are saying just ACB. We have to find that. Suppose we assume that ACB is equal to length of the arc ACB is S. Length of the arc ACB is X. S. AOC is 1 radian. Now we will compare these two angles. Angle AOB upon angle AOC. Angle AOB upon angle AOC. Because whatever the angle, that corresponding length of the arc will be there. That is the property of circles. Angle AOB upon angle AOC will be equal to arc ACB upon arc AC. Arc ACB upon arc AC. What is arc ACB? S. The length of the ACB we had assumed to be R. And what is the length of this arc? Radius R. So S upon R. Now arc AOB will be equal, angle AOB will be equal to S upon R into angle AOC. AOC is 1 radian. So it will be S upon R radian, angle AOB. And angle AOB, suppose this angle is theta. This circular angle is theta. Suppose this angle is theta. This complete angle is theta. Then it will be theta will be S upon R, or S will be equal to R theta. So whenever you have to calculate the measurement of any arc, measure length of arc, then length of arc is R into theta. R is the radius of the circle and theta is the angle which it subtends at the center of the circle. The conversion formula from degree to radian is given as d upon 180 is equal to c upon pi. Though we have discussed it in the earlier part also, and how do we convert by pi by 180 or 180 upon pi. This is the same thing. D upon 180, where d is the measurement in degrees and c is the measurement in radian. So the connecting formula of degree and radian is d upon 180 is equal to c upon pi, where c is the angle in radian and d is the measurement in degrees. So you can convert from degrees to radians or from radians to degrees. It is also important to understand, the most important part in this chapter is how to calculate the area of a sector and the length of the arc, because that is the only thing which you will be asked in your examination. Area of a circle is pi r square, you know. You know what is the area of the circle, pi r square. You want to calculate the area of the sector. Sector is the part of that circle. Suppose this sector is making an angle theta at the center of the circle. Area of the sector AOB, this area which I am shading in the figure, suppose I am shading this area in the figure, then the area of this sector, AOB will be whatever is the angle at the center, theta upon 360 into pi r square. Pi r square is the area of the complete sector, circle. So theta into pi r square upon 360, pi 180 into 2, 360, 2 will come. If I convert pi radian into degrees, it will pi radian is equal to 180 degrees. So 180 into 360 will be 2. So 1 upon 2 theta r square is the area of the sector, where theta is the angle subtended by the arc at the center. And if I want to calculate the length of this arc AB, then it will be theta upon 360. Again here it was theta upon 360 because that is the part. And what is the circumference of the circle? 2 pi r. So theta upon 360 into 2 pi r. 2 pi and 360 will cancel, it will be r theta. We had discussed the length earlier also, s is equal to r theta. If you remember that formula we had calculated. That is the way how we calculate the area of the sector and length of the arc of the circle. Now quickly I would like to revise what we have already done in 9th and 10th. First thing, 6 trigonometric ratios: sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta and cot theta. The 6 trigonometric ratios and how are they calculated and how they are related in a right angle triangle. Like ABC is a right angle triangle and theta is the base angle. We call it the base angle. When we call theta as the base angle, that means the angle is between base and hypotenuse. And the opposite side generally is perpendicular. Base and perpendicular are interchangeable. Because instead of theta, if I take this angle as the reference angle, then this will become the base and this will become the perpendicular. There are methods people have for remembering the values. People have taken, like some people call it SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite upon hypotenuse. Sine is opposite upon hypotenuse. Cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse. And tan is opposite upon adjacent. Another way is some people have curly brown hair through proper brushing. Some is S sine. People P have P upon H. Curly is C. Brown B brown hair through proper brushing. So you have sine theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, cos theta is base upon hypotenuse, and tan theta is perpendicular upon base. Another way is Pandit Badri Prasad upon Har Bol. Sine is Pandit upon Har, cos is Badri upon Har, and Prasad upon Bol will give you sine cos tan. So anyway, whichever you want to remember one thing and you will never forget it. So we have sine theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, or as he said, opposite upon hypotenuse. When I am talking of sine theta in this particular triangle, it says opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite to theta is AB, hypotenuse is AC. Cos theta is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Adjacent upon hypotenuse. Which is the adjacent sine? CB. And hypotenuse is AC. And tan theta is opposite upon adjacent. Opposite is AB, adjacent is BC. So we have got sine cos tan, and we find the reciprocal of the sine. You will get cosec theta, AC upon AB. Cos, the reciprocal of cos is sec theta. Sec theta will be AC upon CB, and opposite of tan is cot. Cot will be BC upon AB. I have written sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cot theta. Actually sine is SINE, but we in short we write it sin theta only and read it as sine theta. Cos is cosine. It is cosine theta. Tan is tangent theta, but we write it as, and we can't all the time, we can't be writing tangent theta, so we write tan theta. Cosecant theta. Cosecant theta. Then secant theta. It is called secant. It is called secant. And cotangent. So in short we write sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec and cot, and basically these are the things which are they are the opposite, they are the reciprocal of each other. Sine and cosec are reciprocal, cos and sec are reciprocal, tan and cot are reciprocal. Tan theta is sine theta upon cos theta, cot theta is cos theta upon sine theta. These are the things which you have learned, but we will have to go quickly through. I'll be doing some more work on this. We are going to discuss some of the trigonometric relations which we have already discussed in standard 10th, like sine square theta plus cos square theta is always 1, sec square theta minus tan square theta is always 1, cosec square theta minus cot square theta is always 1. These relations can be written in different forms also by transferring from right to left, so that depending on situation what we need we can get. For example, sine square theta can be 1 minus cos square theta, which I have written here. Sine square theta can be 1 minus cos square theta if you want to write sine square theta in terms of cos square theta. Cos square theta can be written as 1 minus sine square theta if in case we need to change cos square theta in terms of sine square theta. Similarly, sec square theta can be written as 1 plus tan square theta. Sec square theta is equal to 1 plus tan square theta. Or sec square theta minus 1 can be written as tan square theta. Similarly, cosec square theta can be written as 1 plus cot square theta, or cosec square theta minus 1 can be written cot square theta. So basically these are three relations. Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1, cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. But from these relations we can get these relations by changing the subjective formula which you have studied in here. Here I have made sine square theta as the subjective formula. Here I have made cos square theta as the subjective formula. Here sec square theta. Here tan square theta, cosec square theta and cot square theta. Depending upon, this is the same relation. First three are basic relations. From them we have got further 6 relations which can be obtained from these 3 relations and can be applied according to situations wherever we need. The another thing you had read was a spatial angle table. You had read a spatial angle table because till now you have only studied the angle between 0 and 90. And if you remember, even if you look at the back, if you look at the last pages of your book, any book, there is a log table, or you were provided a separate log table where the angles were between 0 and 90, starting from 0, finishing on the next page. In the first column it used to be 0 degree, 1 degree, 2 degree and going till 90 degree, 89 and 90 degree, and used to get values, but we were mainly interested in specific values like 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. We had constructed a spatial angle table. I have just constructed it again for your benefit, but we will be going much beyond these angles now. We will be going much bigger angles, like sine 0 is 0, sine 30 is 1 upon 2, sine 45 is 1 upon root 2, sine 60 is root 3 by 2, and sine 90 is 1. You reverse this and you get the value of cos theta. You reverse a 1 root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2 and 0. Then tan theta was sine theta upon cos theta. You divide the value of sine theta by cos theta, you will get tan theta. Like tan theta, sine 0 upon cos 0 is 0. If you divide this value by this value, you get 1 upon root 3. 1 by root 2 divided by 1 by root 2 will give you 1. This will give you root 3, and 1 upon 0 will be not defined, because when denominator is 0 of any ratio, then that ratio is not defined. It is called not defined. Generally we used to denote it by infinity. It's a very large number, not defined. Cosec is opposite of sine. 1 upon 0 again not defined. Opposite of this, reciprocal of this is 2, reciprocal of this is root 2, reciprocal of this is 2 upon root 3, 1. And then we interchange again. Start from that side, 1, 2 by root 3, root 2, 2 and not defined. Divide the value of cot theta is reverse or reciprocal of tan theta. 1 upon 0 is again not defined. If you get root 3, you get 1 here. Cot theta should be 1 here, not 1 by root 2. Cot theta should be 1 here, and 1 upon root 3, and of course 1 upon not defined is 0. So you got all the values between 0 and 90 degree. There are certain special things which you should notice here, which we will discuss in detail later also, but just look at this. If I have this axis here, this is 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, and again complete revolution, it will come out to be 360 degree. Now sine 0 is 0. So along this line, suppose I denote it by line 1, that is positive side of x-axis, sine 0 is 0. What else is 0 here? Tan is 0. Tan theta is sine theta upon cos theta. So sine 0 upon cos theta will be 0. So along this line, sine is 0, cos is 0. And what is 1 here? Along this line, what is 1 here? Let us see. Cos is 1 and sec is 1. Cos is 1 and sec is 1. Along this line, because it's a 0. So sine is 0, tan is 0. Sine 0 is 0, tan 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1, sec 0 is 1 upon cos 0, so it will be 1 also. And what is not defined? Cosec and cot. Cosec 0 is not defined, and sine 0, sec cot theta is not defined. Why? Because sine 0 is 0, so cosec will become 1 upon 0, which is not defined. Cot 0 will become, because tan 0 is 0, so cot 0 will become not defined. And cos 0 is 1, sec 0 is 1. So along this line 1, sine 0 and tan 0 are 0, cos 0, sec 0 are 1, cosec 0 and cot 0 are not defined. Let us take this line 2, along line 2. Along line 2, that is 90 degree. Let us see. Sine 90 is 1. So sine 90 is 1. What else is there? Which is 1? Cosec 90 is 1. If sine is 1, then opposite of that, reciprocal of that, cosec 90 will be 1. And what is 0? Cos and sec should be 0. Cos is 0, cos is 0, cos theta is, cos 90 is 0. What else is 0? Cot is 0. Cot theta is, cot 0 is, cot 90 is 0. Cot 90 is 0. The opposite of cos is sec, so sec 90 will not be defined. 1 upon 0 is not defined. Not defined, we can say not defined. And it is again 10, 90 will be not defined. So remember this, sine 0, tan 0 are 0 along this line 1, cos 0 and sec 0 are 1 along this line 1, and cosec 0 is not defined and cot 0 is not defined along this line. Similarly here on the along the 90 degree, sine 90 is 1, cosec 90 is 1. That means sine and cosec value is 1. If sine and cosec is 1, so 1 upon sine or cos theta, what will it become? Cos 0 is, cos 90 is 0, cot 90 is 0. Opposite of cos is sec, so sec 90 will not be defined, and opposite of cot is tan 90, which will not be defined. We also started in standard 10 the complementary angle relation, like sine 90 minus theta was always cos theta. Whenever 90 will be there, if you subtract or add from 90 or multiples of 90, sine will change into cos, cos will change into sine, sec will change into cosec, cosec will change into sec, tan will change into cot, and cot will change into tan. Sine 90 minus theta is cos theta, or cos 90 minus theta is sine theta. Sec 90 minus theta is cosec theta, cosec 90 minus theta is sec theta, tan 90 minus theta is cot theta, and cot 90 minus theta was tan theta. We had also studied further, which I will discuss after this. This is, you had studied something in height and distances in standard 10. If two observation points were on the same side of the building or of a hill, or if any height where you observe the angle of elevations of the point. For example, you are standing at a point A, observe the angle of elevation of this building CD or the top as alpha, and then move towards B and observe the angle of elevation to be beta. Or you are standing at B and you find the angle of elevation of the top of the building is beta, and move away from here and angle of elevation changes to alpha, and we have to find the height of the building, or we have to find the distance. Either you will be given this x, or you will be given h, and you will be asked to calculate. If x is given, you will have to calculate h. If h is given, you will have to calculate the height. So the relation was x is equal to h cot alpha minus cot beta. H into cot alpha minus cot beta, when the observation points were on the same side. If the observation points were on the opposite side, then what happens? X is equal to h cot alpha plus cot beta. Instead of minus, it gets added.